So we'll do the mag light. Anything else you want to do?
We're doing this poster.
Yeah, great. We're doing the poster. You know why I'm so excited about the posters? We got tubes.
So the poster is for trivia.
Posters for trivia. You have. I wrote down the answer. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult tonight. But yeah, that and viewer appreciation
is the mag light.
And we'll do some Bultaco stuff too.
For what's it worth? Yeah.
For what's it worth?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's very excellent. Yes. Okay. I'm ready.
It is, wow, 6 o'clock already.
Are you live?
Yeah, we are live. But I didn't start the show yet.
Oh, you didn't start it?
No. Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Abbate. You are watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a lovely show ahead. You're going to be very, very happy with it. So when we get to that in just a minute, we'll be hearing more on. Sue, you okay there? Yeah. Would you have a little feedback, babe? Huh?
I did.
Yeah, let me put you on camera here. What happened, Sue?
I don't know.
Little feedback?
No, I had the volume all the way up on my tablet.
Yeah, that's because we're old and we listen to things loud.
That's why.
All right? But you're good now.
Well, I'm hoping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank sponsors of the show, the people that make it happen. Racer X International Motocross Museum, Motion Pro, Bultaco East, Sirius Studios, Vinco, Full Circle Racing, Preston Petty Products. And if you would like to make a donation in any amount, there is a link in the show description, and I put it in a few other places today too. Any amount, we would appreciate anything that you do. Let's not forget the people that have plunked down $49.95. They got a shirt. They've got 4 products from Amsoil. They get their name up on the board for 90 days. Carl Word, Lou Blanchard, Kurt Flash, John Cacaval. He's a brand new player in the game here. Don Zabalski and a few others. Thank you all so very much for contributing to Vintage Motocross Q&A. Another way to support the show, a shirt. $24.95. Any of these shirts in any color, long sleeve and short, $24.95 for $3 more. They're XXX up to 4X. That includes shipping in the USA. We accept PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, and if you're close by, you can even come by and just give us cash. Now look, do you see these guys how happy they are? That's Tom Miller and John Cacaval. They were not this happy before they put the apron and the shirt on. It brings an aura of joy to you when you wear this. I have heard in some instances it is even regrowing hair. So order yourself a Vintage Motocross Q&A apron or T-shirt just like that. Don't forget to keep sharing the show. Whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, share the show. Let us know where you're from. Let us know some of the segments that you like. Some things you might want to see in the future, whatever it might be, we'd be happy to put it on the air here for you too. Let's mention a few more sponsors while we're at it. 2025 Big Air Kids Fair. Thank you, Steve Bauer. Trail Rider Magazine, Kurt Flash, a great publication. We enjoy it so much. We just had we didn't renew. We just got a subscription just a couple of months back. And so far, it has not disappointed us at all. The next time, try this segment. What I generally do is tell you what to try next time when it comes to a tool or when you're purchasing something. But, something came up, and it's the end of the year for Supercross, but it is the beginning of the year for the Outdoor Series. Next time, what I want you to do when you go to the races, I want you to stop by the Legends and Heroes display and check out the amazing history and the truck and the trailer, the outdoor experience that you will get. In fact, you know what? I've got a little video right here, and I'm going to play it for you. It's just like a minute long. But Billy Urban sent it to me last week. Frank Vredis, they were on the road all year with the Supercross series, of course. And now they're going to get ready to go for the outdoor series as well. Let's take a quick look. I'll show you what's going on there. Strongly recommend that next time you try that when you go to the races. That, of course, is brought to you by Vinco. And yeah, you know what? We're going to jump in there on a Vinco commercial. Then we're going to be right back, get the show started for Vintage
I'm Ron Lachine, and you're watching Vintage Motocross Q&A. We'll be right back.
Vinco, who already has a full line of vintage parts, now has air shocks that are an exact duplicate of the original air shocks so popular in the late 70s. So whether you're looking to build a full racer or museum showpiece, these shocks will give you that incredible 70s look and improve your bike's performance. These new air shocks are fully rebuildable with Vinco rebuild kits, and all shocks are hand assembled in the USA with all new components. Every component is brand new. Just like the originals, our air shocks are adjustable with 2 chambers, high and low pressure, giving you tremendous flexibility for settings of your bike suspension. The Vinco air shocks come fully assembled and ready for installation. Just add air or nitrogen. The kits include the manual and spacers. Visit Vinco.com to check out the air shocks and all that Vinco has to offer to help you get back on track and keep that ride going.
Yeah, Vinco, with over 1,000 products in their catalog. You want to visit them online at Vinco.com. In the What's It Worth segment tonight, which is brought to you by Full Circle Racing. Be sure to visit Full Circle Racing online. And you're up there in the Northwest. Tom McAllister, always very, very generous at the races and with his prices for our viewers here at Vintage Motocross Q&A. So with that being said, this is, of course, the segment of the show where we want you to guess how much you believe the bike recently sold for. And whoever gets closest without going over is going to get some nice gifts from Steve Grandis and Bultaco East. We've even got some hot sauce. We've got key ring stickers, a lot of cool stuff. Nobody has complained so far about the things they've received from us and from Bultaco East. This is Suzuki we're looking at this week. It's a 1980 RM250 that was originally rebuilt by Suzuki guru Dennis Eaton. Dennis Eaton's a really nice guy. There are people that you become friends with on Facebook, and then you really feel that you are friends with. And Dennis has been an administrator for some of the pages. And anyway, whatever I'm trying to say here, Dennis Eaton's a real nice guy, and he does love his Suzukis. But this bike was sent in to us by Charles Goff. Okay, it is a 1980 RM250. You guess how much the bike sold for. It was rebuilt. It's got Terry cables, Motion Pro throttle cables, Sudco Mikuni Carb Yamaha Petcock. It's got DC Plastics front fender and GP side panels. It's got a newly powder coated frame, new rear wheel bearings. Got a new Did Slim gold O-ring chain, new sprockets doing a rear tire. All the gaskets are new in the engine, as are the bearings and the seals. It's got new crankcase screws. It's got a first over white coat piston, a seat cover, new foam, new air filter. It's got CR high bars. It's got the quick adjust front brake lever, also a quick adjust clutch. It's got a new chain roller exhaust springs. It is in great condition. Got a stock pipe. It's got a Racetech 46 kg fork springs in it, who also have new seals. Got progressive rear shocks, the original and rare snap-off airbox lid. This is one nice bike that Charles Goff did post on the Vintage Motocross Buyers and Sellers Price Guide page. And we only have a few pictures, but as you can see, this is a sharp bike. I did not, for some reason, post a picture this week with the actual cost on it, but I am a trustworthy guy. So how much do you think this bike recently sold for? $3,500? $4,500? This bike sold for $5,000. $5,000, completely rebuilt, in beautiful shape, new tires, chains, sprockets, and plastic. I think that was a smoking deal for a $250. And you know what else I have here? No, you don't, do you? I'm going to show it to you right now. I've got something that is, I think, somewhat impressive. If only I could find it. Just a minute. I got it right here, Suze. Are you looking to see who bid the most without going over the $5,000 price tag?
Yeah, someone who we know and love.
Someone who we know and love. But if they've won in the past couple of days, last couple of weeks, I'd like some new people to win. So,
well, I don't know if he's ever won it.
Who is it?
Jeff Kokoski.
Jeff Kokoski can't play. He's one of the producers of segments on the show. You got to pick somebody else. Who else do we have?
I tried, Jeff.
All right, here. Let me do this first, and you keep looking. And there you have it. The bike is running. It was $5,000, and that's what it sold for. And I can't, with a good conscience, let Jeff Kokoski. Wait a minute.
How about Brian Pollan?
Yeah, I don't know who Brian. Yeah, Brian Pollan is a new viewer.
He's 4,800.
Yes, 4,800 is very close. And I'll tell you what, Jeff Kokoski, you saw the picture of the stuff that we have here from Steve Grandis and Bultaco East. If you'd like something out of that little grab bag, you certainly deserve it. You put together a great segment every week for the Did You Know segment. So if you want something out of there, Jeff, you just let me know, and I'll be happy to send that to you. Okay?
Yeah.
$5,000. I thought that was a great deal, and I think everyone would agree with me. We're going to hear from our sponsor, Full Circle Racing, and after that, we'll be back with more Vintage Motocross Q&A, and I promise you, we'll be running commercial-free for quite some time after this word from Full Circle Racing.
What are you running?
Commercial free after this word from Full Circle Racing.
I get asked often, what's the most important thing on Clunker? Answer simple, it's me. That's why I use Full Circle Racing wheels prepped by Tom McAllister. So should you. Watch this and learn why. When racing vintage motocross where suspension is very limited, your wheels can be the difference between winning or serious injury. We chose to run Full Circle Racing wheels because of the super high quality materials and the heavy duty spokes used. Prepped by Tom McAllister, I have the confidence on the track to push way harder through the rough stuff and the bigger jumps, knowing my wheels are going to stay under me. Hey, Clunker may be 50 years old, but his wheels are brand new, and yours should be too. Call Tom McAllister at Full Circle Racing today.
I want to thank some of the viewers that are watching tonight. I think we got Mike Sarkis there, Phil Palmer, Gig Haggad is there, George Camacho. I think you won some stickers a couple of weeks ago. Bob's the Scavenge. Keep sharing the show. Tell us what you think about what's happening here at Vintage Motocross Q&A and what we could do to make the show even better. You know what time it is, Sue? It's my favorite time of the evening.
What's that?
Bum, bum, bum. Trivia returns to Vintage Motocross Q&A. We've got a really interesting question tonight, and we're going to get right to it. In case you have not been around a little while, we're giving away a beautiful 18 by 24 inch poster of Jimmy Weinert and Tony DiStefano. This was the cover of Racer X back in 2004, I think it was. And we have a limited amount that was given to us by Michael McCook. Mike McCook, a great guy. He's got a wonderful page over there on Facebook called Motorcyclist Illustrated, and an older but still informative page on the World Wide Web, McCook Racing. This is a call-in contest, guys. This is the number, 925-784-2195. Operators are standing by. Operators are standing by, and tonight's question is going to involve C&J frames. Now, here's a C&J frame on a Honda. They, of course, a very famous company, built some frames for a while, helped a lot of guys win some championships. Here's the question. C&J made some of the finest aftermarket frames that money could buy for 20 years. What does C&J stand for? What do the initials C and J stand for? I need what it stands for. First and last, if possible. Or if you just give me, well, you know what? I've said enough already. Call in 925-784-2195. That's 925-784-2195. Dave's Corner, Dave's Classic Corner. This is brought to you by Dave Boydston and AMS. Be sure to follow Dave Boydston on Facebook. Got a lot of great videos every day, or you can call Dave if you're looking for some parts, 480-610-4574. Dave's Classic Corner, and I think we have a CZ this week from Dave. He sent us a great bike every week, does a fabulous little walk around of the bike. And if you want to get your bike on the show, watch this video, do what Dave does, and we'll get your bike on the show, and we'll give away some prizes for that too. Okay? Okay, here comes Dave's video, and it's coming up right now. There we go.
This is a 1972 400cc CMS framed Mossberg Reed 199 for real pounds, just like you see it right now. Can prove it. So handmade gas tank, aftermarket triple clamps, Excel rims front and rear, brand new done rear wheel actually. That's a Magnum pipe that we moved the mounts because this frame had the short mount. Those are Pro pegs, short and shift lever, the Bultaco tip put on it. A little later kicker. That's the Mossberg 16 pedal carbon fiber Reed setup, dual stage. And then see, I removed every other cylinder fin off the head, and everybody said it's a Bultaco head. And I said, look at the cylinder real close. And in there you will see that there's over 120 symmetrically drilled holes to lighten this. So I collected a lot of light parts at CMS long travel swing arm. Bultaco chain adjuster, someone drilled out. You can see by the back wheel, everything is fresh as a daisy. New tire, new fenders, tall seat. It's got Race Tech emulators in the forks. Charlie Richardson CZ bars, the stabilizer, the air caps. You pretty much name it. Aftermarket brake pedal, Olin shocks, and a brand new tire set. For real, 199 pound, expert level, 400cz, race ready, 7500. AMS Racing. That's a Suzuki front fender. People always ask me what fender is this. I just like the bead on the side because it matched the rear fender so well. It really did look like it belonged with it. Here's what it looks like from the controls. 72cz CMS. Bye.
There you go. Dave Boydston, and that bike is for sale, $7,500. You could certainly trust Dave when it comes to buying a bike, having it complete and in excellent running condition. We still have no one who has called in with an answer, with a correct answer so far. I'm going to read the question again. C&J made some of the finest aftermarket frames that money could buy for over 20 years. What does C&J stand for? Call in 925-784-2195. That's 925-784-2195. Operators are standing by. Here's the problem segment is brought to you by Motion Pro. Be sure to visit them online at motionpro.com. When you want to do a professional job, you get over to Motion Pro for all their tools, cables, controls, and just some great service from Motion Pro as well. Let's get down to some questions. First one comes in from John Ulver. Joe, I inherited a 1969 American Eagle 238 over the weekend and searching for REH, rear brake parts. I believe the same wheels came on Tyron, Dalesman, and some Huskies. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, I do. First, let me show the people the bike, which, I mean, absolutely does look spectacular. You don't see American Eagles around all that often. This one happens to have, I believe, is that a clone or is that a actual 238 engine? Anyway, let's not get into that. What we want to know is about the wheels. What I would suggest, John, is obviously you've thought about Dalesman, Tyron connection to the American Eagle. Something else you might want to do is get in touch with some guys who are in the Penton circle, early Penton stuff. Anything with a Sachs engine in it, you are going to probably find somebody who likes that brand, that style of bike. I myself would be looking and sniffing around any Rickman websites, any Rickman Facebook pages. Those are the guys that you're going to find your REH brake parts there. I don't think, well, Husky, I don't think you're going to find it on a Husky page. You might, but not like you will in a more of an abundance around the British guys, the Rickmans, the Dalesmans, people like that. Okay. Mike Conley Sr., why did Mr. Lackey paint his Husqvarna tank Kawasaki black, run Mako front forks with a Yamaha front brake and a Husqvarna seat? Here it is. This is a replica that someone built of that bike. And, times are lean, Mike. Guy didn't have any money. He had to run the parts that he had. No, actually, there's a little bit more to it than that. And that bike changed a lot over the 1972 season. Brad had a problem with the tank. It started to leak. He put a Husky tank on there, painted it black, and put Cow on there. Now, the problem was Tim Smith of Kawasaki USA got wind of that a week or so later and absolutely hit the ceiling, immediately sent a case or two of Kawasaki green paint over to Belgium, and they had to paint everything all over again and fix the bike. So I don't think that the tank got changed because the tank that was on the bike, Kawasaki tank, was just a problematic tank and it would leak. The bike went through a lot of changes throughout that season. Brad was, of course, the 1972 national champion. The bike was a KX450. It was rebadged twice in one season. It started off as an F12M. At some point, Brad Lackey and his buddy Jim Pomeroy snuck some Works Bultaco forks out of the back of the Bultaco van. It had Bultaco forks on it at some point. It had Mako forks on it with a Yamaha front wheel, and Brad just did anything he could in order to get the edge. This is probably early 73, and if you look at this bike closely, it's got a disc brake on the back, and it's got Mako forks on the front. That is the reason why the tank was black. I have a phone sitting next to me. It looks like it's on, and I'm wondering, do we have somebody here, Susie? Hey, it's Joe Abbate. You're on the air live at Vintage Motocross Q&A. C&J made some of the finest aftermarket frames that money could buy for 20 years. What does C&J stand for?
Cole and Gentjazz.
Say it again.
Cole and Gentjazz.
Cole and Gentjazz. You're exactly correct. Who am I speaking to?
Well, Joe, it's Al Huey again.
Al. Now, I'll tell you what, Al. You got a poster last week.
Right.
I know, and I want you to give it to the newest member.
Okay, so let's go down the list.
That would be Rick Ash.
Rick Ash is watching?
ASCH.
Rick Ash is a very accomplished mechanic for a few different racers. Wow, that is impressive that Rick Ash is watching. Hey, Alan, very generous of you. I'm going to make sure Rick Ash gets me his address, and we will forward that poster to him, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joe.
And you know what? I had a little something else here. Let me read it while you're here. Precision Products, C&J, they co-founded by Jeff Cole and Steve Jengus. There it is. In 70, became a dominant force in racing. Cole and Jengus Company initially located just down the alleyway from Kawasaki R&D Lab. So they built one of Brad's frames that we saw a little bit earlier, and they were instrumental in the success of so many flat track and road racers as well, like Kenny Roberts, Scotty Parker, and Chris Carr, of course, the late Ricky Graham. Alan, thank you for calling in and giving us the answer because nobody else really knew it, and thank you for your generosity of playing it forward. Rick Ash, I'm going to be getting a hold of you, or message me your mailing address, Rick, or I'll message you through Facebook. and we'll get together on that poster. Susie, great job. Thank you.
Bye, Alan. Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. There you have it. Rick Ash. Yeah, I think Rick Ash was the mechanic for Kent Howerton. He might have been the mechanic for Goat Brecker as well. I know he was with Kawasaki for quite some time. Did I answer the question about Brad's bike? I did. We're on to question 3. Kurt Fournier, how come I get 99% of the hole shots, never finish higher than 10th place? Should I adjust my training schedule or actually adopt a training schedule? Kurt, let me tell you what the problem is, okay? We're all around 65 years old. You can get a training schedule. You can do whatever you want. But look, let's not look at the glass half empty. Let's look at the glass half full. Your reaction time on the starts is absolutely phenomenal. You get to the first turn first 99% of the time. You don't need training. You're in the wrong discipline of racing. What I want you to do is I want you to go out and get a drag bike. Okay? Go out and get a drag bike like this. Go down to the strip, down to the 1320, throw down some hot laps, bleach up that tire, come back with some ETs, okay? And then you're going to see how your life is going to change. You and the lovely Samantha are going to get into drag racing. You wear that big leather suit. It's absolutely outstanding. You lay down on the bike like a man, okay?
I don't know if that's good advice.
Well, this is what do you want to do? Join a gym to go from 10th place to 5th? Come on, it's over. It's over, Kurt.
He's still busy traveling.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Good question. And if you know what, it's never a bad time to join a gym and get a little exercise. That's for sure. That segment is brought to you by Motion Pro. 20% across the board on everything. Use the code MP9135, just like I've been telling you every Wednesday for the past 15 years. Durf's Cycle Shop. Get a hold of Fred Hudgens. And, of course, my dear friend Russell Waters, AMSOIL products. And you know what? It's not just oil. They've got cleaners and lubricants. They've got waxes, water-free car wash stuff, a lot of really great stuff, including some products for you Second Amendment guys as well. We are moving on to the Works For Me segment. I was with Terry Good again this morning. We did put something together for you, and I think you're going to enjoy it very much. It's about cylinders and different cylinders that he has from the DeCoster collection and a few other places as well. So I'm going to bring up the video. You're going to hear what Terry Good and I had to talk about a little bit earlier today. I can't. Oh, here we go. I can only stretch it out so long before I run out of stuff to say. And I can't ad-lib my way through the lag of this show at times. Here we go. Yeah, Terry, thanks for joining us again this week for this Works For Me segment.
My pleasure, Joe.
You've sent me quite an array, quite a batch of cylinders here, some Suzuki, some Yamaha, from what it looks like. And the first one that caught my eye was, it was strange because it looked a lot like a pumper or a diaphragm carburetor that you'd find on a street bike, like I've seen on Hondas or other bikes. Let's get a look at it here. Obviously, it is not just an aluminum carburetor, but this is something special. What do we have here?
Yeah, okay. So that came out, that was Suzuki, that came out in the early 70s. And that was an experiment to use if you notice, the entire back of that cylinder is intake. And if you took that manifold off, you would see there's two massive reed cages, one on top of the other, stacked from top to bottom. And so there's a lot of intake there. And that carburetor is a CV, constant vacuum,
Yeah.
So a lot of the street bikes would use something like that. And so what Suzuki was trying to do is experiment with putting a massive amount of fuel mix in that cylinder through those reeds. And the reeds would allow that much because, piston port, you'd have it all going back. So they use that to, the carburetor is 41 millimeters.
41, okay.
Yeah, at where it meets the exhaust manifold there. So, and that carburetor is sand cast by Mikuni. I believe it's Mikuni. In magnesium. It was extremely expensive.
And this was from one of DeCoster's bikes.
Yeah, those were his parts. In fact, that carburetor, he had a hard time parting with that. Of all the stuff, that's the one thing I'd like to maybe hang on to this. But
yeah, it is something very, very unusual. And the reed valves, as you say, they're probably 4 pedals each, but they sit over and under. So there's 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
it's
interesting.
Huge. And I have that'll be. I have, I think, 3 of those cylinders with the reed cages, with the whole thing set up there, and we'll display them in the museum so you can see the porting, and with the manifold taken off so you can see the reeds and how big that is. And in that prior picture you had of it, not that one, but kind of where you could see the top. Yeah, there you go. See how it says number 2 engraved in there?
Right here. Yes.
Yes. So they would mark those cylinders. Each cylinder, before it went to Roger or Garrett Woolsink, each cylinder was dynoed. And they would write, there would be notes on that cylinder somewhere, and they would inscribe that on the top of the cylinder. So it was really well structured the way they did their research and development. And I don't know why he never raced with that, but he did say it worked pretty good.
Oh, okay. This looks more like a Yamaha cylinder to me.
It is. It's a 72/73.
Yeah.
Factory YZ637. So that 637 is the 250. Nope, not that. Bike? Nope, not that bike.
Okay.
So I thought I sent you a picture with something circled in it.
You did, and that was my next question because I couldn't quite understand what you were telling me or what I should be looking for in the picture.
Okay, so
it looks like the liner looks so thin.
It is, and that's the point. That liner is extremely thin. It's not cast iron. It's not chrome plating or anything like that. It is a liner. It doesn't rust, so I don't know what kind of, if there's nickel content in it or what, but it was special. And the cylinder itself is cast in magnesium. So the entire cylinder. Wow. The entire cylinder. And you think, how could they possibly press a liner that thin into the cylinder? And what they did is they cast the cylinder around the liner.
Yeah.
That's how they did that. And the total weight of that thing, I think when you were at my house, Joe, I handed it to you after I handed, and you about throw it over your head. It's so light.
It is exceptionally light.
Exceptionally light. And those work cylinders, everyone says the 74 YZ250A is the 72 works bike. That's not entirely true.
No, it's not. I have one, and I can tell you the cylinder doesn't look like this one.
The porting is different. Everything is different on these. So,
hey, you know what, Terry? It's a little off topic, but I want to share something with the viewers right now. When you talked about the cylinder being cast around the liner, remember a Greaves had mostly a steel frame, but it had that big beam down the front on a
aluminum.
Greaves.
Yeah.
It was cast around the steel. That's how that was made. So, just a little side note for us moto heads. What do we have coming up next year, Terry? This is a piston port.
It is a piston port, and that we have what I believe is the only YZ360 from 1971 in the world, and we got that, or I got that from Torsten Hallman 25 years ago, and this cylinder was his, but it's a brand new spare part. And the unique thing about this is, first of all, it's the only piston port YZ360 ever.
Yeah.
And the bore is chrome. It's a chrome bore. So that was a unique thing. The very first YZs all had chrome bore cylinders.
Yes. And I just with that piston port, that stuck out right away. The shape of it, Obviously looked like a Yamaha cylinder, but the intake at the rear certainly did not. What do I have here? Another YZ cylinder.
That's an OW12, and so that, go with that bike. Show it. Let's see the bike. Yeah, there it is. Okay, see this cylinder where the fins are cut out?
I do.
And
Why
then
is that?
you can see a broken fin right to the front of the cylinder there at the bottom. Go to the other side of that cylinder, if you will. There you go. So that's the exact cylinder right there.
Okay, so that's the cylinder from this bike. And why were those fins, were they broken away intentionally, or was it a mistake?
Yeah. If you go forward to the cylinders, that cylinder against the gray carpet. There you go. Okay, so you can see the broken away. You can see the cylinder real close. Now look at the picture that shows the transfer ports from the bottom of the cylinder. Okay, see how those... this is from Håkan Andersson. He used this cylinder in the 1974 250 Grand Prix. And his mechanic, who was just a brilliant guy, is just... We will have a whole thing on A.S. Skarin. That was his name. Okay. Swedish guy, beautiful person. And he wanted to modify those transfers, the angle of them.
Yeah.
So they would go into the combustion chamber a little different. And back in 72, 73, 74, maybe he didn't have anyway the porting tools capable of doing that. So what he did is he took a drill motor from the bottom of the cylinder there, drilled those holes that you can see partially there, and drilled up through there, busted those fins off, and then he drilled into the transfer port, modified the porting in there.
You can see the hole. You can see it in this picture.
And then he brazed a plug.
Unbelievable. Yes. Oh man.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, we have so many stories like this. It's just anyway.
I noticed that both sides had the fins removed, and I never thought that was the reason. And in this picture where we see the TIG welding or the aluminum welding, the brazing, whatever it might be, that's when it just hit me like a lightning bolt when you said it. That is something else, boy. And stories and things like that, you'll just never hear. Just nobody could possibly know that. Wow.
No, that's what's so interesting about.
Okay. That segment with Terry Good and I went on for about 20 minutes. That wasn't even half of it. But I did want to bring it up to that point of where you heard the story about the fins being shaved away and how they altered the ports from the outside of the cylinder. Go to the International Motocross Museum Facebook page or Vintage Motocross Q&A's Facebook page. I'll do it right after the show ends tonight. You'll be able to see that video in its entirety. A lot of cool stuff there, a lot more cylinders, and a lot more information to come. Rick Ash, I put up a message. Give me a call. Send me a text. I need your address. And I would also like to talk to you regarding a possible interview in the near future. Right now, we're going to take a little break, hear from the International Motocross Museum, and we'll be right back with more Vintage Motocross.
Motocross struck America, coming from Europe like a lightning bolt, striking the hearts and minds of people all across the country and the world. Battles of intense racing and cutting rivalries with loyalty to brands and heroes intensified as years of blood, sweat, and dirt flew through the minds of those memories of champions as they wrestled their machines through almost impossible tracks. But where are those past champions? And where are their bikes? Terry Good, an ex-pro motocross racer, has made it his life mission to honor these heroes and the bikes they rode to stardom. We raced, we rode, we lived and breathed motocross. Go back in time and relive those moments, now preserved for the first time ever in the world's first museum dedicated to the history of motocross. Our new building is in the gate. Help us get a great start, and you can be part of history. Go to internationalmotocrossmuseum.org and become a part of our team.
The International Motocross Museum is a not-for-profit 501c3 organization. Be sure to visit them online at internationalmotocrossmuseum.org. All donations, any purchases you make are 100% tax deductible. Here's a little, wow, look at this sketch of this. This is going to be the Marty Smith diorama. Terry, of course, has some bikes that belong to Marty, a lot of gear and other things. This is just a little sketch of what you're going to be seeing at the International Motocross Museum. Thank you, Sunrise Vapor Blasting, FastGuyStuff.com, and Ben's Vintage Mini Bike Podcast. Thanks for sharing the show and always being behind us. Tonight in our Moto Showcase, we have a bike that was sent in to us. Well, first of all, the Moto Showcase is brought to you by Preston Petty Products. Thank you, Paul Stannard and Mike Murphy. Tonight's bike was sent in to us by Tyler McGregor. Tyler writes, "Hi, Joe. I love the show, but I think you already know that. Here's a 1990 CR 500 I built over the winter with an 86 CR 500 engine. I got the roller locally in Canada. I found a few big bins of CR 500 cases and cylinders, enough to build a few engines. Anyway, here's a list of what was done to it. Probably a few things that I'm missing. Once again, thanks for everything that you and Sue do. I had the engine Cerakoted. The frame was powder coated. It's got the original pegs, the powder coating on the rear spring as well. Front and rear suspension were rebuilt by Racetech. It's been aluminum vapor blasted swing arm, a 21 and 18 Pro wheels by Tom at Full Circle Racing. Buchanan spokes and rims from Tom as well. It's got an FMF fatty pipe. Power core silencer. It was refurbished. It's got Kenda Millville tires on it. OD bars, Pro taper pillow grips, Motion Pro cables, Motion Pro levers. Engine was completely built by Adam Millar at MRE. It's got a Vinco rod pivot works linkage. It's got an arcade chain, JT sprockets, pivot works bearings. It's got Boysen rad valve reeds. UFL plastic. It's got original rotors, decompression release from Adam Millar. It's got lots of OEM parts and NOS stuff, including an NOS OEM rear rotor guard. Original brake lines. It's got aftermarket radiators as well. It's got Devo guard braces, OEM stainless steel exhaust springs, OEM gaskets, works connection rear frame guards, 2000, 2001 CR250 stator and flywheel, got a 2000, 2001 CDI box. And it's got all those goodies and more. I love the bike. It's got a spec bolt hardware engine kit, and there you have it. And I love the fit and finish on this bike. Tyler McGregor, I like what you've done here. You've kind of put your own personal touch on it, and I love that. And once again, the Moto Showcase does not have to be about show bikes. It could be about mini bikes, race bikes. We've had dual purpose bikes on here. A couple of weeks ago, we had a Kawasaki KD 175, real sharp little bike. It was sent in by Frank DeVideo and one of his friends. Anyway, either way, we love the bike. Thank you for sending it in and for supporting our show. While I'm thinking about the Moto Showcase, next week, you don't want to miss this. Got a 72 501 Mako, 501, the Big Daddy. This is sent in to us from Paul Griffin. We'll have a great show on this. That's next week on Vintage Motocross Q&A. Thank you, Steve Grandis and Bultaco East, for all you do for us here at Vintage Motocross Q&A. The special this week, compression release kit. Complete, free shipping. It's a VMXQ&A special, free shipping. That's $10.04 off, 17%. And let me tell you this. I love this kit, and here's how I know I love it. I have one right here. I have it right here. It comes with the wrench. It comes with a sticker. It comes with a quality cable. And when I took it out of the bag, one of the first things I noticed was the quality of the lever itself. The chrome is beautiful. I see no pitting. It doesn't look like it's made from some pop metal. Looks like a quality part. Only from Steve Grandis and Bultaco East. In fact, Steve Grandis, if you're watching, I am in the process of coming down the home stretch on a tail Bultaco. I'm waiting for the bolts and hardware to get back from powder plating. And when I do that, I want to know what you have laying around for that bike. Okay. What else do we have? The Did You Know segment. Did You Know is, of course, brought to you by Sirius Studios. Thank you, Sirius Studios and the Winter family. quality fabric, quality construction in hats, shirts, gear bags, beautiful off-track stuff that when you get out there and you want to go to a barbecue or something where it isn't necessarily moto-oriented, but you want to feel like you're throwing some shade in some people, you get out there in your serious studio gear and you let them have it with both barrels.
Or what?
Throw some shade on them. I know all the hip sayings. You know, this stuff is bussing.
It's bussing.
It's bussing this gear.
Your grandson will be proud.
Yeah, it's bussing. I'm throwing shade. All right. Before I throw my back out, let me sit straight here. Did you know, although they are not the largest helmet maker in the world, Shoei, actually pronounced Shoei and not Shoei, is known for making innovative motorcycle helmets, the highest quality. But did you know how Shoei helmet got it started? The Kamada family, in 1954, called a polyester company in Japan, began producing hard hats for Japanese construction companies. The Kamata family also operated a restaurant and inn not far from the Honda Motor Corporation headquarters in Hamamatsu, outside Tokyo, Japan. Honda founder Soichiro Honda and his first test rider, our future company president, Kiyoshi Kawashima, became regulars there at the inn when they went into business in nearby Tokyo. Kamada family member Aitaro Kamuta admired Kawashima because he frequently arrived at the inn riding a motorcycle and wearing a custom painted helmet. Intrigued by Kawashima's painted helmet in 1959, Itaro took the knowledge he learned from the family hard hat business and began to produce motorcycle helmets. In Japan, the passage of time is marked by dynasties and the lifetime of an emperor. In the late 50s, the country was in post-war Shoei dynasty period. So to honor the emperor, he used the first three letters of Shoei dynasty period, and he used those first three letters and the first two letters of his first name, Aitaro, to create the new company, Shoei. By 1960, Shoei, well, they became the first manufacturer to meet the Japanese industrial standard for helmets. JIS is somewhat akin to our U.S. ASTM or ANSI standard that defined technical requirements for a wide range of products and materials. By 1963, Shoei introduced their first racing helmet called the SR1, and in 65, the Honda Motor Company selected Shoei to be included in their Honda parts catalog, and it was part of their accessory line. The popularity of the Shoei immediately exploded, opening up the need for global expansion of Shoei and what they were offering. By 67, Shoei started to produce the SRZ, the first full-face helmet, and in 1976, introduced the world's first carbon fiber helmet, the GRZ, years before other manufacturers would do that. In the 1980s and 1990s, they continued to bring innovation through products and the market. With wider comfort in mind, in 1984, Shoei was the first manufacturer to offer ventilation ports in their full-face helmets. And they introduced the first full-face helmet with an internal visor mechanism in 1990. But it would be 1991 where Shoei would debut the purpose-built VMXQ helmet that the motocross and off-world took by storm. Riders like Jeff Emig, as well as Damon Bradshaw, wore the Shoei line. They would be followed for almost 20 years later in the VFXW second generation and the current VFX Evo third generation helmet. Currently, U.S. Supercross and National Motocross rider Malcolm Stewart and MXGP star Jeremy Sewar wear the Shoei brand. Here's a good picture of Bradshaw, and here's another good picture of it's Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward back on the number 3 Kawasaki. I think that's around 83, 84. Anyway, just like their very first helmet in 1959, every Shoei helmet is still handmade, utilizing sophisticated process that involves over 50 people working on each helmet. Shoei prides itself in building the very best helmets using state-of-the-art manufacturing technologies, but we also maintain the core belief that a good old-fashioned field research yields the highest performing, most functional helmet available today. Jeff Kokoski with another just amazing segment for the Did You Know part of the show. Jeff, you made a mention to me the other day that you might want to start recording some of these segments yourself. I would welcome you to do that at any time. You want to talk to me about how I think it should look or go over some things? Let's do that, Jeff. You worked long and hard on this, and you bring us something absolutely smashing every week. Okay?
That's a good idea.
Oh, I think it's a great idea, and I would love for him to do it. We are now going to hear from Brap Suspension. You know I love Roger Neck, and you know what I love what he says, right, Sus? Brap, get down in the Brap shop. So we're going to get down in the Brap shop with Roger Neff. He got another really great tip for you this week, and he's been coming back with them every week. So Roger Neff and the Brap shop. Here it is. Once again, the line isn't lagging tonight, but your host is lagging a little bit. I'm bringing up videos. Please forgive me. I'll have to get my Wi-Fi checked.
How you guys doing? Right here in the Brap Shop. Got you in the cam. We got a nice little fun segment for Joe Abate's Vintage Motocross Q&A. And the topic today is how to test a shock that I just got done rebuilding to make sure it's working correctly. Right? I don't have a shock dyno, but what I do in every shock before it goes out is my rebound adjuster is wide open, right? So I'm going to compress the shock shaft. Whoop, let's tighten this vise up. Compress the shock shaft. Right? Boom. Goes up pretty fast. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to close down this rebound adjuster. I'm going to go all the way closed. Then I'm going to open it 2 clicks. So it's not fully closed. Now it gets really hard to push down. I mean, like, really hard. This also shows how much rebound adds to compression. Now you can see how it's going up really slow, right? If I start to open that up, it would go up faster and faster. But this tells me that everything that I've done is functioning. The rebound adjustment's functioning. We can't really test the compression adjuster. That would take a shock dyno. But maybe you had the shim stack off, and maybe you put the piston on upside down, or had something mixed up and oil was just flowing through the piston. Well, it would still go really fast, right? So this is a good way to make sure that you've assembled it correctly. The rebound adjustment works, but it also showed you, I mean, that took everything I could do to push that down, right? As I get older, this is going to get harder, right? I'm going to have to keep working out. But rebound adds a ton to compression. So if your rebound is really slow, it's also adding to the compression. And it's really bad compression. Probably about the worst thing you can do on a shock is run slow rebound, right? You need that thing working pretty fast. If your bike is swapping in the back, left and right, your rebound is probably slow. So two little tidbits there. One, how to test a freshly built shock, and a little comment on rebound. And you ever get the opportunity to have a shock like this in your hand, try and push it down with it open, and then try and push it down with closed, and it'll start to sink in your head about, I got to make sure my rebound adjustment is correct or in a good working adjustment range. Otherwise, it's going to affect my compression and how my bike handles correctly. So you guys keep it brappy. Enjoy the rest of Joe Abate's Vintage Motocross Q&A show. And I'm going to wrap this shock up. We'll get the spring on it, set the clickers, put us a Brap suspension sticker on it, and put it back on the bike. Until next time.
Till next time, keep it brappy with Roger Neff and Brap Suspension. This is the segment of the show where Susie comes in here and tells us a little bit more about who her viewer appreciation was. Who is that, Suze?
That would be Mark Pappy.
P-A-P-E?
P-A-P-E, yeah.
Mark Pape or Pappy. I think it's Pape.
It's Pape?
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
He won the AMSOIL Maglite.
He did for viewer appreciation prize.
Okay.
So get us your address. We'll get it out to you.
Mark Pape, listen, every week somebody wins something. Last week a guy won something. I forgot his name. Wait, I got it right here, in fact. Last week a guy named David Kendig won something. David Kendig. I asked for his address. He never sent it to me. I need your address if you're going to get a prize from us. And we love giving away stuff, and so do our sponsors. People like AMSOIL, Bultaco, East, they love giving away stuff. They are generous with us, and we like giving it to our viewers, but we need your address. Again, Rick Ash, I need your address, okay? Get me your address. I'd be happy to get you whatever it is that you have won. This Week in Motocross History is brought to you by Racer X, available on your newsstand and, of course, online now, or you can get it delivered right to your house, just like he did in the old days. 1983, well on his way to the 1983 AMA Wrangler Supercross Championship, Team Honda's David Bailey won the Washington, D.C. round held in Robert F. Kennedy Stadium, home of the NFL Redskins. His teammate Bob Hanna was second, with Suzuki's Mark Barnett third, Kawasaki's Jeff Ward fourth, and Yamaha's Mike Bell and Rick Johnson fifth and sixth, respectively. All 6 of the top 6 in that race would win at least one AMA Supercross Championship in their careers. This picture may not coincide with the race that day because it's got Johnny O'Mara in it. And, but there it is. And it was 26 years ago tomorrow that a 39-year-old guy from Paramus, New Jersey, entered his first vintage motocross race. That's me, Joe Abbate, on May 15th, 1999. And it took me about 2 weeks to get that bike started. I got it started up exactly 26 years ago today on a Friday. I went out to eat. I came home. I started the bike again at like 10:30 at night. I put it on a trailer and I went to Monticello at a place called Holiday Mountain. It was about an hour and 15 minutes from my house. It was a very, very special day for me. Here's why. I did
What year?
1999. I was 39 years old. And I did really well that day. I met Gordon McCaffer and some other people, including Mike Pieski, Buzzy Shara, so many guys, Ed Schaefer, people that I am friends with till this day, 26 years later. And all the people that I've met thanks to this show, thanks to the International Motocross Museum, there is no hobby/sport like vintage motocross. We are just one big family, and we're all having a great time, kind of reliving our youth, but really getting out there and not just looking at, and I'm not degrading this or making light of it, but we're not stamp collectors and we're not baseball card collectors and we're not record collectors. Maybe some of us are, but we get out there on the bikes that we rode 40 and 50 years ago, and we're having a great time. I've got some announcements coming up right now. I'm going to be doing an interview with Ed Chestnut in the very, very near future. If you are not familiar with Ed, his name is synonymous with the brand Hodaka. They have the Hodaka Days coming up June 27th. In fact, it's 26th through the 29th in Athena, Oregon. We'll be bringing you more coverage on that once I get Ed on the show in the next week or so. The Burner Memorial Ride. That happens this weekend, May 18th, and it happens at Verona MX. The lovely Debbie Burnworth will be your host. There are a lot of sponsors that help out with the Burners legacy. Also, the show will, there'll be some spots on the radio for it. And between 3 and 4 p.m., they have race results over the air. And between 4 and 5, they're going to have a guest speaker. Verona Oaks, Debbie Burnworth, everybody down there at Verona this weekend. Don't forget, we have revised sponsorship opportunities with new lower rates for 2025. We got something for everybody, okay? So get a hold of me, whatever your budget might be, and you can become a sponsor of Vintage Motocross Q&A. Also, on the 26th and 27th of July, my dear friend, Bad Brad Lackey, is the Grand Marshal at Vintage Motorcycle Days in Ohio. Get up close and personal with the champ. Get him to autograph some stuff while he's still getting out there and able to do some stuff. Thank you to our sponsors. Racer X, International Motocross Museum, Motion Pro, Taco West, Sirius Studios, Vinco, Full Circle Racing, Preston Petty Products. Don't forget, follow that PayPal link, smash that button, $5, $10, whatever it might be. Every little bit helps. Susie and I want to thank you for joining us here on the show this week at Vintage Motocross Q&A. Don't forget, on the International Motocross Museum page and on the Vintage Motocross page, we will have the conclusion of the coverage that Terry Good and I gave for all those cylinders from DeCoster, Torsten Holman, Aki Janssen, and so many. You're going to see even more when you watch that video. I'm going to post it in just a little while. But for right now, I have to say goodbye.
Bye.
Gino! Oh, Gino.
He's always ready.
You are ready to go, my boy. All right, that's it.
Don't forget to send your addresses.
Oh, yeah, I got to have your address. Mark Pape and Rick Ash, thank you, Alan Huey, for your generosity, for playing it forward on the poster. We'll see you next.
Water shirts.
What do you love me? Yeah.
Apron shirts.
What's that?
Water shirts.
Oh, yeah, order shirts too. Shirts and aprons.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on Vintage Motocross Q&A.